Hello and a very warm welcome to the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia, not only in virtual but also in reality as well. It's Jack Appleyard and Jack Gorst here from the MotoGP eSport Global Series Arena for the first time since 2019. Valencia playing host to the grand final tomorrow night, Friday evening, 6 p.m. local time. You do not want to miss it, and it's time to set the grid for our final race of 2021. Race 8 of 8 will be here around the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia. And Jack, this is it. This is the big one. The final race of the year. Qualifying is underway. Yeah, I almost can't believe it's here. You know, the year's gone so fast, and here we are, ready to qualify for race 8 of the Global Series in 2021. There's certainly a few, love that, little bit of style from Jack Hammer. And a Stoppy as well, love that. Just enjoying the whole environment, the experience. As I look over my shoulder and look back at him now, he's got a big smile on his face as he has. So, I mean, this is it, yeah, we've said about it, you know. It's qualifying's kind of been a bit of an open draw in 2021 with these boys. There's several of them that have picked up pole positions, but as we saw for qualifying for Kota for race 7 of the Global Series, it can't really get closer, so I expect the exact same here. Yeah, we won't give away the results just in case you're watching the qualifying session here in Valencia before then switching across and watching the qualifying session in Austin later on. But if you haven't watched it already, wait until this one's finished, of course, but then stick it on. It was probably the best qualifying session of the year. Probably the best qualifying session in eSport history. I can't remember commentating over a better one. No, certainly not. It certainly had a nice tense ending, didn't it? That is for sure. But here we go then, flying on to the first flying laps. Adrian is the first man across the line. Oh, no, he's not. Sorry, Trastevere is. But Adrian will be following up. These two, of course, top 2 in the championship as we go into it. And, they're certainly going to be battling for that front row. You can put your mortgage on it, let's say. 7 points between them as we head into Friday evening's finale. Remember, double points on offer there as well. So the difference between first and second in each of our 2 races is 10 points, meaning that we could see quite a few swings of momentum on Friday evening. We're in for a treat. Don't want to miss that one. As I said, Friday evening, 6 p.m. Myself and Jack will be live from Valencia with a little help from a special friend, Imi Barkley, joining us to bring you the final as our 2021 title, our 2021 champion is finally crowned. So as expected, you can see everybody is on a good lap at the moment. Piero Ricciuti and Mr. TFTW, the only 2 riders that have exceeded track limits on this lap so far, so this one won't count. Here is Trastevere then, the man currently sat second in the eSport Championship, 2 crowns to his name. He's got some great memories here in Valencia. Can he add a 3rd one on Friday evening? We'll have to wait and see. His first priority, though, is taking pole position here for that final race. Comes across the line, sets the first marker, a 126.216, 3/10 clear of Adrian, 7/10 clear of Darkbright. Andrew ZH jumps to the top, though, a 126 dead from the Ducati man. 33 hundredths of a second clear of the factory Suzuki of Williams Christian. A great first marker for Andrew ZH, who, of course, Jack, is eyeing up the Tissot Pole of Poles award. And if he picks up pole position in this one, then that's it, wrapped up. He'll have himself a brand new Tissot watch to walk away with. He certainly will. Just to outline that one for you once again, in case you didn't quite get it. Basically, the man that has the most pole positions at the end of the year does win a Tissot watch, as Jack said. And this man started out the year in fine form in qualifying, picked up 2 in the first 3 races, I do believe. And then went and added a 3rd one as well. So if you can do it here, that before, and he's 50% in it. He's gone for 50% of the races and 50% pole positions. So he needs to be careful though, because Williams Christian, he's been fast as well. Was fast in qualifying earlier. I won't spoil that one, just so you don't have to find out via me. You can watch it for yourself. But yeah, I think Adrian ZH, I don't think, not that I know a reference for a time, but I do think that time will come under some pressure, because inevitably exhausts in these eSport qualifyings, as he took a little bit too much curb on the way on the inside there. Now, you'll expect all these boys to dive into pit lane, maybe make a few little setup changes, because, I tried to get some secrets out of them earlier, but they wouldn't really tell me any setup changes. So, yeah, they're keeping their cards close to their chest. Of course, Andrews Head H is one of our famous 4 in 2021. If you remember back to the opening 2 rounds of the year, we were treated to 4 different winners in the opening 4 races of the year. Williams Christian, incredibly, is not on that list, so he will be desperate to make the Fab 4 into a fantastic 5.
Yeah, and you really would have thought at the start of the year that he would pick up a victory no problem, but it's just been the level of these top guys in eSport this year has been incredible. They've been absolutely metronomic. Not a single mistake in races. The guy that's won the race, I mean, there is no way that anyone else could beat them because they've just been inch perfect. So it's very, very tough indeed for even people like Williams Christian, who's won races in the past, to come and do that here in 2021.
He's a bit of a seasoned veteran, is Williams Christian, been a part of the MotoGP Sport Global Series every year since it started. As you said, won races, been on the podium lots of times, but for one reason or another, just not been able to string it together so far in 2021. He's been competitive.
He certainly has, yeah. He's picked up a couple of podiums already this year, but just not that elusive victory.
Yeah, he of course finished second back in race 4 at the Red Bull Ring in round 2, and then followed that up with third place finish the last time we had eSport action at the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. So 2 podiums to his name, sees him sit 5th in the standings ahead of tomorrow evening, but I'm sure he would have been hoping for better. All eyes here, understandably, on Piero Chuti. Of course, he exceeded track limits on his first flying lap, so this is going to be the first valid one for the Wild Child. Into the final sector here at Valencia, goes right, then left.
And that lap's gone.
Yep, too hot into there, onto the green stuff, and that's another lap gone away for the number 5.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Piero. That is a very, very tricky section of this Valencia circuit. They have to carry in so much corner speed there to just carry it through turn 13 as well. It can be very tricky to get it right, and as you see, that's exactly how it can go wrong. So 8 minutes on the clock then. Let's just run you down through what it is at the moment. Andrews Head H is on provisional pole position from Williams Christian and Trastevere. Ricardo Tormo, great performance from him so far. 4th, ahead of the reigning world champion Adrian in 5th, and Jack Hammer doing another solid job in qualifying. Joel Clay on the Aprilia, Dark Bright, and then Fuchs is on a valid lap at the moment, looking to improve if he can, see if he can get onto the second row, and then Piero Ricciuti, as we do say, and Mr. T still searching for a lap. So, here we go then. Second run's about to go down, and at the moment it looks a little bit quiet on the timing screens.
Yeah, these guys all on their second flying laps now. Andrews Head H, the provisional poleman, has gone great in the first sector, but he clearly wasn't a million miles away because he's gone red in the second one, indicating that he's on course at the halfway stage to better that 126.050 that he set earlier on. Trastevere, he's gone red through that first sector as well, so the Italian provisionally on course to take top spot away from the Ducati man. This is good from Andrews Head H though. He's red once again through the third sector, so we'll follow him all the way across the line. This is of course the penultimate corner in Valencia, the long sweeping left-hander. It goes on for what I'm sure feels like an eternity before eventually getting it stopped, powering it down the start-finish straight. 126.050 is what it was originally, and he's dipped into the 125s. 125.881 for Andrews Head H puts him now 2 tenths clear, but Trastevere is going to have a response.
Yeah, let's see where this takes him. Of course, the bar has just been raised, and the third split is coming up right about now. Trastevere will fly through it and see what he's still on. Unfortunately, that lap time has gone away from him. Invalid lap. Ricardo Tormo then, we're on board with the Pramac Ducati rider. He flies across and goes onto the front row. Now that is something that's going to bother Trastevere. So the two of our past world champions are 4th and 5th back on the second row of the grid. As one of them, Andrews Head H, the other one, 2019 world champion, is staring down the barrel of picking up his 4th pole position of the season.
That's a great lap that by Ricardo Tormo. Puts himself up onto the front row of the grid. Saw that the guys back in Bologna, the head honchos at the Ducati factory, will be extremely pleased to see the Yahoo Pramac racing man just helping out his factory counterpart by nudging Trastevere back onto the second row of the grid. It's good to see the two Ducatis teaming up here. Williams Christian at the moment is the filling in the Ducati sandwich. Piero Ricciuti, well pointed out, Jack, the Wild Child, yet to set a lap. On course for pole through that first sector. Let's see how the LCR Honda man gets on. Here he is then, on board with the number 5. He's going to be flicking left momentarily down the back straight here in Valencia, and it's red once again. This is a good lap coming in from Ricciuti.
Very, very good lap. We know he's got phenomenal pace. He's shown that all throughout this year, not just in qualifying, but also in the races. It's just always been a question of whether he can put it all together. But it seems at the minute, as we're about to come and through into the last final split of the Valencia circuit, he's just down a little bit, but still on an improving lap because he hasn't quite set one yet. But from the looks of this, it's not going to be far off at all. A little bit of a shake there as he comes over the curb. Got it spinning up now around through turn 13 and diving down into the final corner. What's the time going to be? We're about to find out very, very shortly indeed.
I thought he was going to go over onto track limits there because that's where he got it wrong the lap before. Just about kept it off of the green stuff. Comes across the line. Ricciuti goes 5th, 6/10 adrift of Andrew ZH, middle of the second row for the LCR Honda man, but as a result he pushes back the current world champion and the current championship leader Adrian back down to 6th. But just as I say that, red in sector 1 goes Adrian.
Yeah, as champions do when they're facing down the barrel of a difficult situation, they come out swinging, and it looks as though Adrian is doing exactly that. Here we go, we're going to come through the second split in just a second or two. Time on the back straight, he's going to get it down. This is where we picked up with Piero Ricciuti as well, and this lap has gone away as well. But we do not know how far off he is. Remember, Andrew ZH, he increased his pole time, but through the first split was actually grey. So let's just have a gander at where this is going to come through as we come through the third split now.
Good lap coming from Williams Christian as well. He's on course for pole position through that first sector and the second one as well. The Suzuki man putting in a late charge here. Adrian, it looks as though this lap has just faded grey sectors 2 and 3. It would be unlikely to see him improve full stop. He's surely on the green there. Yes, he is. That lap has gone away for Williams Christian. How pivotal could that be? Because he was on course for pole position at the halfway stage. Trastevere, he needs to respond as the factory Yamaha man. Currently looking like he's going to have to start from the second row of the grid. He's looking to change that. He only needs to find 4 thousandths of a second to be able to jump ahead of his compatriot Ricardo Tormo.
Of course, this is only qualifying, but all the possibilities of this qualifying session. Imagine if you've got 2 of the previous world champions coming from the second row of the grid. It's not that far back, but it is certainly not exactly where they want to be. And you've got Andrew ZH, Williams Christian on the front row of the grid. If anything goes well, if there's chaos in the first race tomorrow evening, it really could be on for an absolutely balmy championship final as we head down to Valencia.
Well, that's the thing. That's why qualifying is so crucial. It's so tight at the margins between the riders. Plus, we nearly always get a little bit of drama through that opening corner. So Trastevere knows he has to be on the front row of the grid.
Good
and
lap.
There he goes, second for the 2-time world champion. He's still a 10.5 adrift of Andrew ZH, but that won't bother him one jot. Front row of the grid provisionally. We're now 2 minutes remaining for the 73.
Mr. T's about to come across the line to complete his first valid lap, so long as he can keep it all on 2 wheels through the final sector. We're going to pick up with Andrew ZH, who once again, the Bologna Bandit is firing on all cylinders. Red through the first split. We're going to come down into the second split now. Is it going to be red again? It is. Here we go, he's fighting back once more. I tell you what, he's had some incredible one-lap speed. We just need to see him replicate that in the race.
Incredible stuff this from Andrew ZH.
That was so close.
Currently sits 3rd in the championship standings ahead of tomorrow night. He's only, what is it, 17 points adrift? Yeah, 17 adrift of Adrian.
And with double points, that is nothing.
Well, that's 2 race wins. If he wins races 7 and 8, then that's it. He's champion. It doesn't matter where anyone else finishes. So that is how important this qualifying is. Another pole position not only will win him and Tissot watch, but will put him in prime position to be the champion tomorrow night. He doesn't improve on that lap, 125.881. He has a minute and 20 remaining, but I don't think we'll see him improve any further. He's got the best out of that Michelin soft rear tyre. So that's going to be that for Andrew ZH. 125.881 is the time to beat with a minute remaining. Can anyone take on that challenge?
Well, it may well be Jackhammer here. We'll see how close he can come. No, not quite. 6/10 off still. I was just about to say life could get worse for Adrian there if Jackhammer had picked in front of him. But now it does seem that Adrian is finally, well, this is it, 45 seconds on the clock. He has to put this lap in. It is all or nothing for Adrian. If this lap doesn't do the business for him, he is going to start on 6th place on the second row of the grid for the final race of the year. And that, as we've said, could be disaster for him if something goes wrong on that first lap.
These are a crucial final 30 seconds. Adrian has gone beneath that marker in the second split. It's faded ever so slightly. Can he recover from this? This is huge for the world champion. 6 on the grid would be a disaster. Meanwhile, brother Williams Christian, he's not giving up the fight. He's ready in sectors 1 and 2. Could we see Suzuki take pole position here? 5 seconds remaining. The checkered flag is going to be out momentarily. Williams Christian has exceeded track limits, so that's it. Game over for him. Andrew ZH, Trastevere, Ricardo Tormo, they are all finished. They will remain on the times they've set. Can Piero Ricciuti or Adrian improve? Here comes Adrian across line. He goes 5th. He picks up 1 spot. Will that be enough tomorrow night? We'll have to wait and see. Piero Ricciuti, meanwhile, we can see him in the back of the picture there. What can the wild child do? 6/10 adrift at the moment. He comes across the line. Didn't look like improving. And he did. He found it in the final sector and pushes Adrian back to 6. So, huge drama here. The day before the grand finale gets underway. One thing we know for certain, Andrew ZH, pole position for the final race tomorrow night, and as a result, the Tissot Pole of Poles Award goes his way. He'll be lining up on the front row of the grid next to Trastevere and Williams Christian. Row 2, Ricardo Tormo, Piero Ricciuti, and importantly, the world champion and championship leader Adrian, all the way down in 6. Jack Hammer, Joel Clay and Dark Bright will be row 3, with Fuchs and Mr. TFTW rounding out the grid. What drama, Jack. The world champion will start from 6 tomorrow. He's up against it. We've seen him fight back before, but all the pressure is on Adrian as the Global Series decider gets underway tomorrow night. Do not miss it. 6 o'clock local time here in Valencia. We'll see you then.